And next, in my presentation, there is two parts. The first part is to present our federation concerning the Wiilliams syndrome in France and all things which are around it. And the second part will be to a larger part concerning all the handicapped people in a country and how are the different structures that are meant to bigger, nicer integration in the society, which is very important, especially for teens and for adults. I am a retired professor, University of Profesor, and I was in the Ile-de-France Association, and more important, as you saw, I am the father of Olivier, which is now 43 years old. So you will see that in my slides there is a lot of text, because 2 days ago I was in Indonesia, and now I am a little bit in jet lag, so I didn't want to forget anything, So the situation in France is a little special because there are two structures in France dedicated to the Wiilliams-Beuren syndrome. One is a Federation of Regional Associations, named, as you see, named Wiilliams France, whose president is Didier Lecarlaire. And the second one is a national association, which is named Autour des Wiilliams, whose president is François de Oliveira. So the goals of these two associations is a bit different. Our association is more concerned with the help to the Wiilliams person and their families and to favor the integration of the children than the adults in such situation and to make the syndrome more well known, especially in medical, for medical people, because some years ago they didn't know anything about the Wiilliams syndrome. The second one, that is Autour des Wiilliams, is more concerned with the communication about the Wiilliams syndrome and the research. So we have some common activities, and recently our federation and Autour des Wiilliams have developed a common scientific and medical committee to analyze and support scientific projects. The federation was created around 2000 to bring together existing regional associations and include a dozen of them, the largest from Ile-de-France and then Rhône-Alpes, Bretagne, Saint-Ouest, etc. So according to the situation in this region, these associations sometimes grow up and sometimes decrease and become less active. This is a bit of a problem for us sometimes. In average, between 400 and 500 families are included in all these associations. The board of directors include representatives of the associations and meet twice a year, usually in Paris. The budget is very small, of course, of all these associations, and is used for the insurance, for the meetings, mailing, FUSE, which is a European association, and travel expenses sometimes. So you have here the internet site of the federation where you can find many informations about the federation if you need them. And not only on the federation, but also on the regional associations. So the federation organizes, on average, every 4 years, a national conference where parents and children come together to exchange information, listen to speakers, and of course to entertain together. For instance, a meeting in Auvergne, organized by Patrick Vigery, where the American lyric singer, I don't know if you know her, no, with the syndrome Gloria Lenoff, which is an American singer, performed a concert, and you can see her here. The last national conference was organized in 2016 near Lyon by the Rhône-Alpes Association, whose president, Gaël Dupérier, is present somewhere in this room. The Federation supports research projects reviewed by the Common Scientific Committee. So this year there is some budget for this project, bring 30,000 euro from Autour des Wiilliams and 33,000 euro from Ronald. So this is, for this year, some money. The French Federation is part of the European Federation of Wiilliams Syndrome, FUSE. Recently, a FUSE summer camp was organized by Christian Castillon-Nice, Nice, and last year, the FUSE board of directors took place in Paris. The regional association now, the main activities of the regional association is to bring information to the family, organize families meeting and summer camps. So you can see all what they are doing here. I try to go rather rapidly. Usually 2 summer camps are organized, one for children, one for adults. They were sometimes organized for the Corsica because they had money for it, and more recently by the Île-de-France Association, Rhône-Alpes Association, Brittany Association. Unfortunately, it became more and more difficult to organize these camps because of budget problems. Everybody has budget problems, of course. Several regional associations developed their own internet site, and more recently, their Facebook pages. So you can find also on internet all these informations. So, for instance, this was a meeting organized in Paris in January for what we call the Galette Feast. And the Wiilliams people here were doing karaoke, and it was a very good idea to do that. They were very satisfied with this meeting. Other associations concerned by the Wiilliams syndrome, c'est Alliance Maladies Rares, which bring together many patient associations. Its goal is to have rare diseases recognized by the public and the public authorities and the health professionals. And every year in November, a rare disease march takes place in Paris. You know, it's a big manifestation usually. The Wiilliams syndrome is well represented by the Secretary of the Federation, Catherine Dervieux. General situation in France, regardless of the medical follow-up, I will insist on the structures that allow a better integration of the concerned person. There are larger federations of associations, for instance, UNAPI, who have created educative structures, business, and dwellings for people with disabilities. The budgets are mostly funded under the state social assistance, this is very important, in the form of an annual overall allocation for coming mainly from the departments. In France, the social money comes from the department and sometimes from the towns. Due to lack of time, I will mention only 2 major institutions. The first one is IMPRO, Institut Médico-Professionnel. These establishments welcome people with mental disabilities from 14 to 20 years, and possibly a little bit more. And they provide general education, acquisitions of elements of autonomy, development of social attitudes, and vocational training. So it's very important for the teens, handicapped, more or less handicapped people to have a structure where they can have better integration. The second big structure is what we call le ESAT, Établissement et Services d'Aide par le Travail. The ESAT are medical social establishments whose objective is social and professional integration of adults older than 20 years. This is very important, older than 20 years. So under 20 years, you may have some problems. Who have disabilities. ESAT are usually run by associations. The proposed work is adapted according to the handicap of the people. The ESAT offers also medical and educative support. Donc, to go into a ESAT, you have to go to get inscripted, and then you have a trial period to see if you are adapted to this structure. Because in the ESAT, they do a real work. And this, some people with more disabilities can't do that And when they do the work, they have a full work, that is, they stay 6 to 7 hours a day in these establishments. Because it's a real work that they do at ESAT. The worker has a social insurance. No, it's okay. ESAT are funded by a social state assistance in each department, like I told you already. In each department, there is a maison départementale des personnes handicapées that handles the files you present to them, and then, if you are accepted, you can go to an ESAT. There are around 1,350 ESAT in France, which about 120,000 employees. The employees cannot be dismissed if they do not switch. This is very important. And anyhow, a resettlement solution has to be found if they go to another structure. Many people with Wiilliams syndrome work in ESAT. This is true. They may stay there until the age of retirement. With an 80% disability card, they may get around 1,200 euro per month. There is a national allocation, and there is a salary from the ESAT. And when you put the two together, they have nearly enough to live normally, you know. Unfortunately, the number of places in ESAT is sometimes insufficient, of course, for budget problems. The ESAT are medical social establishment. Sorry. Thank you for your attention, and muchas gracias a la Asociación Síndrome Wiilliams de España por esta conferencia.